Return of the AK-50 by Brendan Herrera. Let's give this a watch-a-rooney. Hell yeah.
What? You didn't think we forgot about the AK-50, did you?
What's going on, guys? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. This bad boy needs no introduction, but for those who don't know, this is my gun, the AK-50. Where AK-50?
Here AK-50.
It's real.
I can touch
you. Yeah.
now.
It's been a while since we've done an
Nice.
update or a video on the AK-50 project, and I guess for good reason. It's kind of done. We had this version of the AK-50, this prototype, finished last year. But as always, when we have time to tinker with it, we're always making small little incremental changes, little stuff here and there, just things that we weren't quite happy with, that we went back to the drawing board and changed up. We'll get into a few of those at the range. Like, for example, the pistol grip. Now Zenitco. I really like the feel of the Zenitco. I think it's the RK3. I like the feel of that pistol grip on this. Plus, I think it just matches the AK-50's look right now. I would also be remiss to leave out the fact that you can now play with the AK-50 in Tarkov.
Goddamn right!
Sweet.
Our boy Kanito over at Battle State Games asked a couple months ago if they could put the AK-50 in Tarkov. I know I get like 1 million DMs after that. Did you see AK-50 in Tarkov? Yes, motherfucker, they asked. Take notes, Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's flattering to be done, but it is nice to be asked.
A little embarrassing. The Russians had to teach you how to not steal IP. Anyhow, big fan of the game, so it was really cool to see a game that I enjoy include my baby. So now you too can go around and waste half-starved, drug-addicted scavengers with 50 cals. And then you could boot up Tarkov. Our boy Willer's actually got some really cool footage with it.
Oh man, bro, look at Ergo.
Guy's like one of the best Tarkov players on the planet. Now that Cody's back into streaming, we'll probably play a little bit. I know Nikita dropped us a little bit of goodies, so I finally get to play with my gun in game. So who knows, maybe I'll drop in on Mr. Donut Operator and we'll do some streams there. We got a bunch of stuff coming up for the AK-50. We've got a 20-round drum magazine that we've been working with. Yes, we've seen the Barrett drums. Yes, we are working with them. We wanted to make sure we had everything dialed in first though, which is actually what we're doing today in this video. Trying to get the AK-50 to the perfect gas and recoil spring tuning so that it functions as reliably as possible. We're already roughly at like the 500 round mark with this thing, which is fucking awesome. Like she's running like a champ, but we are noticing some stuff that we're still like, it could just be a little better. But to make it better, we need data.
Always seek improvement.
Yeah, which is why we have to go out to the range and, I don't know, test some stuff out. Awkward transition.
So we're just gonna be talking about recoil spring and why we're doing slow-mo and all that?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, cool.
We can just go ahead and rip the top cover off too if we want.
I will go get a tool.
Oh, yeah, well.
We've never shown taking the top cover off on camera because it's a massive pain.
Yeah, it sounded really good on paper though.
Yeah.
Prototyping. It's fantastic. So originally the way we were doing this is we'd have a little like a pull. What would you call that? Like
a key ring?
Yeah, a key ring.
Just a really thick key ring.
Have that, something like that. You could just reach in, pull down, and then pull the top cover off. And turns out that just didn't fucking work.
Yeah, it turns out to retain, you know, however many 3 or 4 pound dust cover, you need a pretty strong spring. And so we just kind of kept upscaling the spring until it wasn't possible to pull the key ring anymore. So now you need tools to pull it apart. We've got some ideas on how to tweak it, but we're not there yet. Yep.
Rip her off there.
Here. You put one punch in there to pull it down. You put the second punch to lock it. And now you just muscle the dust cover back. It'll be fine. It's a 50 cal optic.
Yeah. Which he's not coming.
That's it. I'm getting me mallet.
That's it. I'm getting me mallet.
What does freedom mean to you? All right, you're here on this channel, so I got an idea. But freedom means being in the driver's seat, on the road and in life. But debt hijacks that. When you're buried in credit cards, loans, medical bills, you're not calling the shots anymore. The banks are. That's why folks are turning to PDS debt. They've helped hundreds of thousands of people get back in control, pay less,
and move forward. You can take the wheel and take back your future. They go beyond just numbers and try to figure out your unique financial situation to find a solution for you. And if you're worried, no, there's no minimum credit score required. They're just here to help you save more, pay off your debt faster, and put your money where it truly belongs. Back in your pocket. PDS Debt is A+ rated on the Better Business Bureau, and they have thousands of 5-star reviews on Google. Just think, you could be 30 seconds away from being debt-free. So get your free assessment and find out the best option for you right now at pdsdebt.com/Brandon. That's pdsdebt.com/Brandon. Thank you again to PDS Debt for sponsoring the video. Back to the 50.
So with the mallet, we can smack on the carry handle. There you go. It's not on there that tight. It's like just enough that you can't get it by hand. Again, prototype.
Speaking of prototype, I forgot this was all of our extra shit storage back here.
Yeah, so this space, you kind of need a certain amount of length on the gun to fit a human being. So this space back here kind of does nothing other than give you length to be able to shoulder the gun. So we put our
storage,
which is very AK.
Yeah, very AK. And this time we're missing the Skittles. So
oh yeah, we didn't have the fucking Carnicon Skittles?
No.
Shit.
So next thing for taking it apart is this thing does take more or less a standard AK recoil spring assembly. We have an extra power spring on there as a coupler up here to get the spring long enough for this setup. And while this does work, it's lasted 400 or 500 rounds so far. It doesn't last super long because the math for making springs work on these guns is actually pretty hard. And in reality, it's easier to just try it and see if it works. So that's what we did, and it worked, so we haven't touched it. But here we are, 400 or 500 rounds later, the spring's finally starting to wear out. So what we're gonna do today is we're actually gonna fire it without a spring to figure out how fast this bolt carrier group is coming back from the gas. And then from that speed, we can figure out how strong the spring needs to be and make new springs.
I don't know if you know this, but this gun wasn't designed to be fired without a recoil spring. And we're basically just measuring carrier velocity to see how strong our spring needs to be. But in order to do that, we can't have any resistance on it. So we're just gonna fucking send it, and this thing is just gonna beat the back of the gun at Mach fuck. But I'm pretty sure she can take it.
I think it'll be fine, especially for maybe 2 or 3 rounds should hopefully be enough.
Yeah.
That's what these guys are for. So on this system, we actually have a buffer spring here where when the bolt carrier hits the back, it smacks this big old spring that helps absorb extra energy. And that's part of why it shoots so soft. We don't want to destroy the spring. So we have these little solid plastic buffers that just drop in there. So we can maybe crush that with recoil or whatever, and it'll keep the bolt carrier from hopping out the back of the gun without destroying our spring. Oh yeah, actually, I have to pull this piece out so we don't lose it. I can show you that spring we were talking about. So this is the dust cover lock here. I'm gonna try and not shoot it in my face. There we go. That's pretty strong. We have this big old spring. That's what we're fighting to take the gun apart. We forgot to bring our patented test fire string. So we have a bore snake with a loop on it. We're just gonna hook that on the trigger.
Whatever works.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about the gun blowing up or whatever, so I don't need to be super far away from it. I just don't want to be behind it in case the carrier does come out.
It is really funny though. It has been over a year since we've done any sort of AK-50 test from a string. Feels like we're getting back to the good old days.
Yeah, I always forget that the general public doesn't see that we're always tinkering with this gun like 24/7. It keeps running, it's doing fine, but we're always doing incremental improvements to it, and it's usually not enough to warrant a video.
Yeah. AK-50 update. We changed the springs.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
like this.
Not
they
super
never
glamorous.
They never saw this new piston assembly.
Oh
either.
shit, that's right. So take this out. I love that, the PKM style.
Yeah.
Fucking bolt carrier, the piston pivot.
Yeah.
But this new little piece here.
So we had to make a new, I don't even know what you would call this, piston shaft, I guess, the intermediate piece, the shiny one here. We were having an issue where when the casing would eject, it would hit the rod that used to be here, and casings would kind of fall back into the gun. Sometimes they'd kind of get crushed. It would do all sorts
That's not good.
of bad things. So we had to make a new one with this big scoop on the side to let them get out.
Which is really cool because if you look at some of the Saiga series, like the 12 gauge and stuff like that, they have a very similar cut on the piston. So this is still, I just love being able to take pieces from other AKs and just put it all in together into something that works. Even the PKM style pivot was from a Kalashnikov, the PKM. Plus, it's got a bunch of flutes in it. That looks cool.
Yeah. Sometimes we reinvent the wheel by accident, like that. We're like, oh yeah, we're gonna need ejection cuts in this, and I start modeling it, and then I don't know, Nick's like, isn't that just a Saiga 12? I'm like, oh yeah, it is just a Saiga 12. I figure we'll do the first one with just a round in the chamber, so we don't have any drag from the magazine.
That's fair.
And if that works, we'll put a full magazine in it and get another reading.
Perfect.
Cool.
See if they're the same.
Yeah. All right, guys, going hot in a sec.
So we don't really need anything crazy frame rate wise. So I've got my iPhone here tuned to 240 frames per second. Now I get to be the camera guy. The only thing is the vents on this are not going to feel great being directly next to it.
Oh yeah. Firing! 3, 2, 1. All right. That definitely threw the brass further.
Yeah, she wasn't really slowing down.
Yep, clear. Even the plastic buffer looks okay. I was expecting, like, if it had a ton of energy coming back, it would probably shatter this or at least dent it. It looks fine.
Let's see what the video looks like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was worried about the frame rate not being enough to get a good reading, but that'll be totally fine.
Yeah, especially frame by frame on that.
Yeah.
So we're able to go.
It's nice.
Yeah, oh yeah, we got plenty of
Yeah,
frames on
that'll
that.
work. Cool.
Perfect.
Okay, so I
up, buddy?
figure...
I got it working, but I can't see chat.
Oh, okay. So you are streaming.
Yes.
So no gamer words.
Okay.
Aw.
Oh man.
This place is a prison on planet bullshit.
As we're out here playing with the 50.
Yeah.
We can do another one without the magazine just for a control. Make sure it's about the same. And then we can do 2 with the magazine. And I think that'll be fine.
It's pretty much all the data we need.
Yeah, it's hopefully pretty consistent with the same ammo. And when you rip the 5 rounds off at the beginning of the video, they all went more or less the same.
Yeah, it was remarkably consistent, that ejection
Yeah.
pattern. So if you haven't noticed by now, where we had the SpongeBob tape on the AK-50 V2, here we got this little strip right here. One of the drive tanks guys asked earlier, is like, oh, is that to cover the serial number? I'm like, well, no. If regardless of what the serial number says, if somebody else has an AK-50, that's already a bit of a problem. But no, what we're actually using this for here is for measurement, for in the slow-mo to be able to have a more concrete unit of measurement for distance traveled per frame.
Firing! 3, 2, 1. Woo! That one went real far.
Oh yeah.
It went all the way back to them. How's the rim look? Okay.
I don't know if that's just me, but that almost looks slower.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, but that does look kind of slower. It almost looks like the gun recoiled more though.
Yeah. It chucked the brass a lot farther.
That's for sure. Because like if it's recoiling a different amount between 2 different rounds from the same ammo brand, I don't know how that could be anything but ammo.
Do we want to do a third one just so we have a range, like a consistent range?
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Oops. Firing! 3, 2, 1.
Damn, that's pretty far.
That one went not quite as far, but pretty far. Maybe the sandbag was supporting it better before.
I think that's part of it.
Okay, cool. I'll load up the magazine.
So now we're going to be loading up a full magazine. The first 3 we're just inserting around in the chamber, so that way it's not going to have any sort of drag from the mag. But what's also helpful to know is how it's going to behave when it has a loaded magazine, because that top round is keeping tension on the bolt and carrier, which will affect the speed of the carrier returning, or at least in theory. It might not do it in any meaningful way, but there's only one way to find out. We're about to do it.
Okay, so we started with a magazine full of PMC. Brandon ripped 5 rounds in semi-auto normally. We've been test firing with PMC. I only have 2 rounds of PMC left, so the first 2 we are firing are PMC for consistency, and after that we have MagTech. We mentioned earlier that firing without the spring is a good way to figure out how much energy the carrier is getting from the gas and all that to figure out our new spring. It is technically possible to figure out what our current spring rate is with the ones we had in it and like reverse engineer back through the math to get
Science is so interesting on this.
our energy to then reverse engineer back to the new spring. We tried it We got inconsistent results because we're not real engineers, and it's not really a good number because those springs are old and kind of worn out. So it's better to just start from nothing.
Plus, like, I've never liked the idea of doing something on paper that we could just do in reality. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like there's what theoretically will work, and then there's what we fucking know will work because
Yeah.
we did it, you know?
It takes any guesswork out, especially it takes human error out of the math and all that too.
Yeah, especially when there's no good reason. Like, certain things you have to do on the computer first and, like, kind of walk it in, but, like, we have the fucking gun.
Yeah, certain things like whether or not it's going to explode. That's good to do in the
that's
camera.
pretty good to know.
There we go. Make sure our angle's still good. Cool. Firing! 3, 2, 1. Okay, definitely not as far. We're gonna do the second one just right in a row.
Cool.
All right. Firing! 3, 2, 1. Oh, it didn't go. 3, 2, 1. All right.
Getting blue balled by the 50 on that one.
Yeah. Turns out using a really stretchy bore snake is not a good idea for a trigger spring. All right, gun's clear.
Cool. Not noticeably slower.
No, the first one went a little shorter by a couple feet, and the second one landed in like the same spot. Okay,
Still useful to know.
for sure. I mean, I think that's a good sign that the geometry of like how the carrier interacts with the magazine is pretty sound.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
obstructive.
Yeah, because like if you take, for example, a Barrett that the magazine is developed for, a very fleshed out gun. If you take a Barrett, load a full mag in it and charge it, it doesn't really feel any different.
Yeah.
So it's good that we're in the same ballpark, I guess.
Great success.
Yep, no chipping. Nice even contact, it looks like.
That's the S7 one.
Yeah, this is the brand new one. We heat treated this extractor on Friday, so.
So we have them marked, yeah, right there. So we've got a couple different extractors that we're rolling with. This one's the S7 one. We have them marked there so you can tell what kind of steel it is. And there you see the dimples from where it was hardness tested. So making sure it was the hardness we thought it was before slapping it in the gun. But as you can see, there's no chipping, no obvious signs of wear. So right out the gate, that's a good sign.
So we actually have gone through one extractor on this gun so far. Our first prototype did chip because of what we were talking about here, where we needed this clearance. Basically, when the casing was coming out, it was kind of hitting that, and it's got all this energy coming back, and it had to go somewhere. So it was bending the extractor in ways it wasn't supposed to move. And we chipped it during the initial testing, and then just kept limping it through, and it was running okay. But it was definitely wearing out, so.
It was pretty funny because most of what you saw of the firing AK-50 was with half a fucking extractor.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It's good we fixed that.
Yeah, doing a lot better.
We could take that tape off now too, I think.
Oh, yeah.
6-inch measuring device, which I think this is wrong. That's way more than 6 inches. So we definitely appreciate the Drive Tanks guys letting us use the range. Been using it a little bit this morning for a couple of videos, including this one. And a lot of their guys have not shot the AK-50 yet, so we're gonna rectify that.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Dude, one of them brass casings hit me in my nut.
You get that on them bigger shots.
That is so cool.
Didn't even move.
Oh,
Great
man.
cameraman.
Dude, that's pretty fucking
I know,
wicked.
I said
That's
quite-
smoother than the Barrett.
It doesn't recoil bad at all.
No, that's really nice.
Oh, you're so right. That's way smoother than the Barrett.
That double tap was gnarly.
I actually really like that. I can see what you're talking about with that smooth recoil, dude.
You've been doing your squats, buddy.
Oh, that is smooth as shit.
What you think?
That is smooth, like he was saying, way smoother than the Barrett.
For the record, I didn't mean for this to turn into an impromptu shit on Barrett thing, but we love Barrett. They're very nice.
Well, I hope you enjoyed all of that beautiful AK-50 porn. It's a really good date out of that range day. Plus, it's always a good time to break the 50 out and let people shoot it. Definitely a crowd pleaser, and you know, as much as I talk about firearm history, it's really neat to be able to say that in one small part, we contributed a little bit to that. Makes me feel all tingly inside. Either that or it's the rhabdo. It's certainly one of those two things. So in summary, AK-50 is not going anywhere. In fact, it is now functioning better than ever with a couple of improvements that we'll be making soon to, again, just get this to the best version of what it could possibly be. Then we'll stick a fucking drum on it. Anyhow, it's been my pleasure to continuously, again, walk you through the AK-50 project. I know a lot of you guys have been here since the very beginning. And it's just really cool to be able to experience this along with you. A lot of cool videos coming up, including a very special announcement very soon. It's going to make a lot of you guys very happy and a lot of other people very unhappy. So stick around for that. I appreciate you guys as always, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.
Fuel is my obsession to make the perfect weapon, like Rasputin's rise to the top. Backpack,